Hello and what's up everyone, Thunderbob here, and tonight we're going to be checking out a new video game. This is Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise. And just like the 30-second history on this series, I've played a bit of it. So the original Deadly Premonition came out on consoles 2010 or so. It was kind of a cult classic, like it wasn't immediately successful, but it's kind of like a Twin Peaksy, like weird kind of quasi-suspense horror game, from what I remember. A decade later, Deadly Premonition 2 came out, this time exclusively for the Switch, and was pretty universally panned, largely because of the horrible performance, like I'm talking like single-digit FPS. And now 2 years later, in 2022, June 11th to be precise, this has been released for the PC. I was provided a key from the developer to check this out, but it's been something that's been kind of on my radar. It's been on my wish list for a while, because I'm a big Twin Peaks, a big like weird fiction fan, and experience that in a game is pretty cool. I am kind of trepidatious about the performance and kind of the bare bones port. Like right off the bat, this does not work with mouse and keyboard, which is kind of unforgivable for a PC port. I feel like if you're on the PC, you just gotta support it, but I'll look past that to check it out. It works just with the controller and play with the 360 controller here. Also, I noticed that B and A are like reversed. It's like Japanese style. Like if I want to go into a menu, I have to hit B, which is awkward, but we can get around that. There are 4 types of control settings, it looks like, in it. I don't see how you can switch the B and A thing, so I'll just have to deal. There's also, I cannot see any way to change the resolution or really any of the graphical settings. So like right off the bat, that's not a great first impression, like a lack of options, a lack of graphical settings, but I'm very curious about the game, so we're going to jump in and check that out. Kind of digging the music to start with, like a very interesting mix of menu music here. Disturbing. Okay, so looks like lady got chopped up and then frozen in creepy position. I don't like the typeset there. It's hard to read it.
What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down? Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike.
Okay.
And no red, remember?
Odd.
It's open. Come on in.
I put a few hours into the original game. I definitely didn't beat it. I really don't remember a lot about the story other than you're kind of this detective going into this small town trying to solve a murder. Kind of like how this one's starting. Just remember it was very weird, like in a good way, but also very janky.
You have questions for us? That's why you're here, isn't it?
That line delivery could be from House of the Dead. Suffer like G did. What's weird is in these scenes, literally any button I press, she goes in like one direction. I have absolutely no control. It's just like forward or backwards, basically. And I know later you get full control, but maybe it's just these opening scenes.
Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones.
Simon
An
Jones.
analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
Title cards are great.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game. Isn't that right, my fairy? How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
Okay.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived.
He's totally smoking a blunt.
If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face.
His blood-shot eyes.
Francis Zach Morgan. He was once an FBI special agent, an extremely talented one. At least that's what they tell me. Perhaps he was a little too talented. Letters of appreciation from the governor. They're caked in dust as if he doesn't even care. You solved many difficult cases across your career, utilizing your own unique MO. You've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the inside-out flesh skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee, and also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis. Then, in 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation. You went on to solve many other cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really solve these cases all on your own?
Or are you the killer?
There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else. How did you ever accomplish such monumental feats all by yourself?
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial partner or an outside confidant?
Our partner is our partner. We've always worked together.
Pretty sure he's referring to the player.
Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives.
Am I supposed to look at? When I hit left bumper, this is what happens. But like, I can't look around the screen or anything.
Francis, Zach, he was once an F, perhaps. This smell.
The smell.
Doesn't surprise me at this point, but it'll be problematic in court if they decide his testimony is unreliable. I won't get another chance to talk to him face to face like this. I need to get him to stop smoking that for... Excuse me, Mr. Morgan, but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about...
The
yes,
pot.
that.
Yo. Just want to get high.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please, put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
What if we say no?
I like this guy.
Then I'll put it out myself, using force.
I'd like you to try.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah. This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own home. And I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
Exactly.
Dude's like, I'm gonna pull mine out.
Francis, he was once perhaps...
What do they want me to look at?
Hey, Belle, why are you dressed so handsomely?
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society. Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake. These files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans. The agent who handled the case, and now he's sitting right in front of me. Mr. Morgan, may I ask you a question purely out of curiosity? If it makes you uncomfortable, just let me know, and I'll return.
Belle, what's wrong? You sure put a lot of effort into that approach.
It's a question about death.
About this spot.
Are you afraid of what's coming?
Oh, he's got cancer.
Think carefully about why we're smoking this, then ask us again. Honestly, we're not afraid. Rather, we find it intriguing.
Dude's getting super high.
Yes.
He's like Joe Rogan right now.
Belle, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
No.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold, colder than you could imagine. A cold that no photograph could ever express. The sun, powerless. And the temperature drops below zero, right in the middle of the day.
Meaning?
Meaning, you can't really understand something until you experience it for yourself. If you want to learn more about us, you need to gain more experience, Belle.
So when do I get to play as him?
An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. These files are for the 8 and now. That chessboard looks rather old, and you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste, but the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess a...
Is that a crime?
No, but it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games, or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself.
You actually kind of totally look like it.
When I was in school, I used to pore over every...
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history.
When did she have a chance to look
He
at
was
that?
simply playing chess. All alone.
What's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no. Everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Ooh, now did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Carré, Louisiana in 2000?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend...
It's like the longest intro ever.
Yes. Yeah. We stole the right to investigate from them. just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Carré immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Creepy.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know. If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with...
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means? That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. The body that went missing for 14 years. This is some kind of message.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now, and it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can...
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murderer. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure.
This keeps getting better.
Better and...
Isn't that? A corpse as beautiful as it sounds just like our story.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something.
This is seriously like the longest intro ever.
I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the document.
I kind of wanted to skip ahead, but like, it's kind of interesting. But I feel like this big of like an info dump in the first 5 minutes of the game is kind of overwhelming.
The person who originally admitted this report was his superior, current chief of the Boston branch. According to Chief Abrahams, Morgan's got his own modus operandi. It's not something that others should interfere with. Well, Chief, look what that's gotten us into now. He didn't so much as twitch when he saw the picture of the body. He's even tougher than the rumors made. But I was prepared. And if my hunch is right, he's deeply intertwined, far deeper than what my superior...
So does she think he did it?
The person who... Morgan... Well, look at... A halfway fin... You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these...
Everything...
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services, but we still have yet to...
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case.
Not to mention...
So,
Alright, we're gonna just skip through here.
remember what happened? That warehouse.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was? Yeah, I think he started working there in... Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a...
The large man, yes? I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook. Is before...
We were unable to... You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during...
We haven't been to Louisiana, not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness, aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve, which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent.
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the set, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it...
Our world is filled, and they...
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere.
Even this mess is... This room's a total mess. But is it just a coincidence? Poly-MVA supplements and a home IV kit. He said that being on the verge of death is intriguing. How does he truly... DVDs are all... I know that he's a shut-in, but this still seems like... And I've never heard of any of these titles before. Do you like fresh vegetables?
Why would you
There's a juicer in your... And do I smell the faint fragrance of baked beans? You didn't use much salt.
What are you implying?
You just told me that you find impending death to... That confused. When I look around your room, all I can see are the many ways in which you're resisting death. Poly-MVA treatment, fresh vegetable juice, vegetable protein without salt, gallons of vitamin D milk for fat and calcium.
The ambivalence, yes.
What?
Two contradictory emotions, mixing, coexisting. An adult, mature mind is never satisfied with only one. It's common sense.
A Steve?
We're retired.
Retirement.
But who doesn't?
I'm not a...
Oh, that you should dedicate all the free time you have to watching movies. Films guide us. Films are filled with...
Is...
For like that... Oh,
You move, but...
you just...
I found several spots in this...
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuary.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing, but we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon, don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again.
What the?
You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. What do you think? 4.5 years. All that time.
Come on. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones.
Oh, right.
He's completely taken control of the... At this rate, we'll never get... I need to press him. Agent, the briefcase isn't even that big. How long does he intend to keep that? Does he have pizza menus stuffed in... Agent did you find the files? Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files? Everything should be fine now. I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red, such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apology.
I think I skipped something.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more
Don't touch one. I told them not to.
Now, may we... Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red, and I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville.
Alright, I just had to pause real quick just to see. And we are like 30 minutes into this game, and I have yet to control my character.
Mr. Morgan? I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered, and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years, and when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
That's a private matter, none of your business.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself, but there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparation.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case, don't you think it resembles the Carré case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more thing that can... Looks like another old antique. He collects milk cartons but treats valuable antiques like trash. What's going on in his head? A jar of honey with honeycomb inside it. There's nothing strange about it, but...
No, that's kind of strange.
A picture of a leaf. This isn't just a picture of any leaf. It's the most important leaf. The belief in truth.
What?
Begins with the doubt of all truths in which one has previously believed. It's time to get down to business.
Such a weird game. Like, I played a few hours of the first one, and this one seems like that weirdness, like, times 10. Like, it was always kind of like a odd detective, X-Files meets Twin Peaks, you know, David Lynch, Eraserhead, lots of weird characters. Feels like they took that dial and turned it, like, as far as you can, basically.
That's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. Prime fruit of the human races. We took the invisible idea of time.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
I disagree.
Oh?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays, people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans we have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
You know, if I want to be on time to work, I need a clock, but sure, detective.
What if it's cloudy or storming?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
And I'm gonna get fired for being late to work.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure? Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing, what the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst. I just sort of... I'm telling the... Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here. Aaliyah?
I don't have, like, any prompt or anything to make her talk.
Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just... We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely. Former Special Agent Francis. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Carré case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree.
Yes. A red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case. They're connected by these red, aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn!
Are you ready to talk now? I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes, it was. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers.
It's like poetry.
It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.
I think I'm going to fast forward through like the first section of this video. So if you're just catching in now, that may have all been in fast forward because it was interesting, but it was definitely kind of boring. Okay, nice like.
Never a choice when somebody needs you. You can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero.
It's like the True Detective intro.
Working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness.
All right, we're gonna jump into the gameplay though.
Zach. Zach. Can you hear me, Zach? There you are, Zach. Sleeping again? Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos.
The game treats itself like so serious. Like you could use a little bit more humor. Like it reminds me.
Isn't that right, Zach?
Like Alan Wake is a similar game. I feel like kind of a horror game with some like Stephen King and Twin Peaks kind of vibes. But that's a game that like knows it's kind of it's like a game that knows it's a Stephen King story. And it feels like this is a Twin Peaks story, but they're trying to be so serious about it. That title card is almost as late as Cyberpunk 2077. What was that, 6 hours? I definitely feel like they didn't put their best foot forward. Like a 30-minute interrogation scene with characters that I barely remember the main character. And it wasn't like a very good info dump either, because like I don't quite understand.
Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Dude looks so goofy.
Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms.
She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Is he talking to the fruit?
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
Are they going to do that for every character?
Did you hear that, Zach? You said the victim was a 16-year-old.
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way? The one above that huge cold storage should have had a dragonfly. Anyway, they own it.
That's all for now. I wanted to just run around this town and see what it's all about.
The cat. We should once we Zach.
He's like constantly talking to himself.
Searing light. These scents. It's the deep south.
God, he's so weird.
That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
It doesn't even look like he ate anything. Right?
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Yeah. Call him on that shit.
Well, the tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee?
And definitely, like, there's some jaggies, and it just looks a little... The lack of graphical settings, it definitely just feels like they're running almost like a Switch emulator or something. Like, it's not... It is not a pretty game. Like the door, you can just like see it vibrating from like the lack of pixels and aliasing and stuff. My Alexa thinks I'm talking with it. I'm gonna go kill my Alexa. Come to breakfast like in his pajamas, like a child. There's so many, like, pointless cutscenes. I'm not saying I dislike it at the moment, but I feel like it is going out of its way to make it very unapproachable. Like, is this the door? Like, I remember
Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America, but I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something.
the original was kind of like a misunderstood, like,
Billy, even with I was so impressed that I same floor as blood.
When it came out, like, a lot of people hated it, a lot of people loved it, and I feel like over the years it became much more of a cult hit. I didn't play it right at release, so when I say I played it
for a trip down memory lane.
like within 2 or 3 years of it coming out. But I think over time it gets kind of got a life of its own. And it feels like they're trying to,
Personally, I think it at least
like, have that same kind of
the
feeling.
body was found beneath a bridge over the along.
But I feel like that was, like, unintentionally so bad it was good.
The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Carré, and he seems to be more. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law.
This one just feels like they didn't realize what were the interesting things of that original game. And, like, they're focusing on not the right things.
Thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic.
Did he just say Michael Bay's The Island was surprisingly artistic?
An
Okay.
experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films.
Does he know what an art house film is?
Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did. This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre, sir. A genre known as island movies. I sure...
So goddamn goofy. Okay, I don't need like a mission. Okay, my quest is go answer the door. Like there's so many layers of like.
I'm very satisfied, and it's even got a security. It's proof.
Okay, I could change my. Yeah, I don't want to do any of that. I got a toolbox. That is one way to do an inventory, I suppose.
Hey there, chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David.
That's the same guy, right? Are they making
I
the?
just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Le Carré is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Well, yes, I
Yes,
already
I
asked
would.
you.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain.
It's so drawn out.
Carré means square in French.
All right,
Ah,
we're gonna skip. I don't care. Oh my god, there's so many. What? You don't have to get that granular with your quests. I just walked out the door and I got another cutscene. They won't stop. Please help me. I'm stuck in a video game. Don't look at another mirror.
do you feel that, Zach?
It's the deep
Dozens
south.
of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel.
Why does he bring his hand up to his
Zach,
ear
you
whenever...
His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
That's a painting, right? Am I...
Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just...
That's so weird. It's like... I kind of don't want to keep playing, but I kind of do just because of how batshit the game is.
Zach, this is Carré. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait.
He's got a monologue about every single thing.
Zach, what did you think of
my
Hungan's
God.
oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets.
What is happening?
Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need very funny, Zach. Now it's time to get serious. You already know the answer. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go
I
to
kinda
the
skipped
Shrine of
that.
Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Very funny. Now it's time to. You already. Now let's start. Very fun. Now it's. You already. Now let's. Alexis's diner, and this is it, Zach.
Why wouldn't they just show
We'll
you?
be able to eat some nice.
Alright, let's get out of here. I didn't eat anything for breakfast.
Now for the other. Or there's no flying serpent. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a drag? First, let's just. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a big. Very funny. Now you already. Do you know what very now? Do you know what very fun? Now you already. Do you know what the
I don't know what he.
trucks and food delivery services? That's got to be. Even with this blazing sun in the sky. Be honest now, Zach. You know.
I didn't. I have no idea what you're asking.
And how about that Hungan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining.
I feel like there would be like a cool game here, but there's like so many layers of stuff. Even like 10 minutes into the game I'm dealing with that it's like preventing me from enjoying it. Can I go outside? I really just want to like check out the town and let's see the performance. I read that people were having performance issues, but like I'm getting 144, which is that's my monitor's refresh rate. Curious about outside though. I know on the Switch, people were getting like 10 frames per second or something. Like it was ridiculous. It was called like one of the worst performing games ever.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease.
Who asked you, kid?
You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia.
Isn't he
We're
dying?
all surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right?
He's like, goddamn little asshole. Gonna make me put out this cigarette, aren't you? He really wrote out.
I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way...
Okay, I really just want to run around town. I've been playing this game for almost an hour, and like literally, I've just now like gotten to the open world. Sharif. It's very weird, like, there'll be a, it says B, and I hit B and like nothing wants to happen, and you have to be like the right spot. Oh, it's Chris Redfield. Nope.
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
Melvin, the sheriff. For some reason, some messages I can just hit B to like cycle through one text at a time. Others, it goes all the way through. I don't understand that.
If you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh?
All right, we're skipping this. Wait, I got a skateboard? How did that conversation end with me getting a skateboard? I don't really care. The Red Room? Is this 50 Shades of Grey? Okay. I want a skateboard. Hell yeah! Why do you have a skateboard? I should have listened to that conversation, I guess. Oh my god, another...
Hey, you.
Patricia. You're really annoying. Hey, now I can skip through the text.
You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you?
Only the girl's named Patricia.
Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested people who've done both, but I've never engaged. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of...
It was just a joke. And don't tell me what you... or else I'll get scared. Hey, you signed a contract with me, remember? And
Do whatever you like. But I have one...
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. I can't leave her alone. You feel the same way, don't you?
I just want to ride my skateboard and have fun. Why is this game not let me have fun? Can I ollie? Do like a grind? There's not a jump button. What the? This is the worst skateboarding game ever. So like this is your main... I remember the original game that you had a car you could drive and it was kind of... Those guys just popped in when I was like 5 feet away. There's no one there?
Clever little...
They're there.
That's what it stands for, at least.
No one there?
He made up his own nickname for me and all, but it sounds kind of weird. I wish he'd call me something normal, like just Patricia or Patty, you know?
Patty? Now that name's got a...
They're back. That is the lowest draw distance of any PC game I have ever seen in my entire life. Look at that.
You're headed
What
to
the...
warehouse, right?
Alright, let's pull up the performance again. So I'm getting 144 FPS. Obviously, like, it's not super demanding, though I think at release there were a lot of performance problems. But, like, watch this. I just jumped. That was cool. That is about a 15-foot, 20-foot draw distance for NPC characters. And it's not like these streets are, like, full of characters. Like, it's like Cyberpunk at release, but 50 times worse. Let's see if I can make it. What the... The guy is like 5 skateboard lengths away from me. And look, there are 2 identical NPCs of the 5 NPCs on the street. Okay, I'm done ragging on it. It's a janky-ass, janky game. And I think if you're playing this, you're primarily playing it for like the oddities and the weirdness and the story. Like you're not probably playing it for the beautiful graphics and like the deep gameplay. Maybe you are, but I feel like you're probably not. But I think I might be done here momentarily. What? She's still following me. Can I shoot you? Do I have my gun yet? I don't have it. I can't punch her. Game failure. I really wanted to like dig a little into this, but I only allotted like an hour to check this out tonight, and it took that long to get through the intro. Though I will probably fast forward through most of that. I'll just have like a little disclaimer that it's going at like 4 times speed. So instead of 30 minutes, it's 10 minutes or something. But like I don't hate it, but I feel like in this first hour there have been so many things that are just like getting in the way of my enjoyment of the game. So many pop-ups and messages and like just unnecessary story right at the beginning. Like they should really drop you into the gameplay way more quickly in a way more interesting way. And like I'm fine with weird ass janky story, but like it wasn't that interesting. Like this is someone who put some time into the original. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna end it here. I'm actually needing to get to bed here in a minute. Really early morning tomorrow. Buy stuff. I already have $600. I cannot read those signs. You cannot go down the stairs. There's a descend button. It definitely feels like something from a different era. Like, if you would have told me that Deadly Premonition came out in 2012, like 2 years after the original, and this was just like a remaster of it, I would totally believe you. But this is not. This is a game that came out in 2020 for the Switch, and within the last month has been ported to the PC. Look how slow. Why am I so slow? There's no... Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Get some crouch action going on, but I gotta hit the button to go back up. Oh, no, I do have a run. Okay, okay. Game redeemed. It's right bumper, which is... seems like a weird button for that, but okay. Good on you. You do have a run. I feel like that run is faster than the skateboard, too. Why is this chick still following me? I do not want to do whatever you want me to do. Alright. So, I'm gonna end it here. It's not... Obviously, I haven't put enough time into this to, like, say if it's good or bad. But it's definitely janky and goofy. So, like, if you are into that, I can recommend it. If you are someone who is looking for a AAA experience with, like, great gameplay and, like, a deep, coherent system and story, this maybe isn't for you. But if you're looking for, like, what if David Lynch made a Twin Peaks video game and it kind of sucked, but also was kind of interesting, this would probably be something you'd want to check out. I'm going to sign off here. I do want to thank you for sticking with the video so far. I may put some more time in the future on this. I kind of want to boot it up on the Steam Deck and see how it runs. I gotta... That squirrel just stole a bullet from me. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to try it, but I'm kind of tempted. If you want to see this running on a Steam Deck, let me know. Look at the trees. Horrible trees. A little bit better, but still horrible tree. Technically, it is a monstrosity. Alright, really signing off. I do want to thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoy this, like, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. Should I keep playing? Do you want to see a full playthrough of this? If you hate me, say yes. Yeah, have a good night, everyone.